And we are live in 3, 2, and action. What's up, guys? I'm here again with another special guest, of course.
Hello, hello.
And it's the Podcast. And today we are talking about living and working abroad.
Living and working abroad, that's
so
right.
I'll just let my guest introduce herself and just tell us a bit about the introduction of what she does before I get into the questions.
Oh my goodness, I think I should have prepared myself for this. My name's Mary Iro.
Yes.
I've been living and working abroad for the past 6 years.
6 years.
Moved to the United States in 2012. So right now I'm in corporate America, but it didn't start out that way. But I would say really I am in the financial investment banking industry. But that's it for now.
Which is most probably like the hardest industry to get into, especially if you're coming from,
Actually, not quite. I really think it's really about what school you go to, what type of education you want to pursue, and how aggressive you remain trying to get a job in that market. But I feel like just the same way it may be hard to enter into the investment world, I think it's also equally as hard in the other industries.
I'll tell you what, before we just proceed, you know what? Like, have you noticed like her American accent has just popped out? Like, yeah. So listen, don't take it too serious, eh? Let's just relax, I need people to connect to you and what we're talking about.
Do you know, this is the funny thing, and I think that this is the one thing that I wish people can understand better.
Yeah.
Is we are a product of our environment.
Yeah.
And somehow for the past 6 years,
Yeah.
you're trying to make sure people can understand you, people can hear you, and you're somehow going to start pronouncing some words differently. It isn't that I'm trying to...
So the American accent definitely I hear you have to talk like that for people to understand you. But but here's the question. I've never had anyone pick up an Indian accent after they've gone to India.
I don't think I have an American accent. I think there's some words that I pronounce with that. But mimi wale watu wenye put a gun on my head, I cannot speak the American accent whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing.
It's just too Kenyan.
It's too Kenyan. It's there. But what I've done is I've refined some words so that those words they can help people understand me better.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
kila saa unaulizwa umetoka,
Yeah.
you want to make sure that when you express yourself, they can hear you, they can understand you. And if I say things like computer, they'll be like ateke, they'll be like, what are you talking about? They want to hear you say computer, so it's just refining a few words.
Yeah.
But we are really a product of our environment. I think that's what people have to understand. We're not trying to come in twang. For the last 6 years, if this is how you've been speaking, somehow when I start speaking with you in English, it comes off just a little bit naturally, not because that's what I'm trying to do.
True. Okay, so let's go back to the journey. Just tell me about how you moved from Kenya, settling in the States, and maybe just a culture shock.
Wow.
Because, like, even for me, if I was to go there, I definitely need, somebody to be there to just help me blend in.
Yeah.
Because for me, it would probably take me a week to blend in anyway. So,
it's interesting. So, surprisingly, these things that they say, green card lottery. Yeah.
Yes.
So me, I had applied and I checked, and guess what? I'd actually won. And even on Ili's idea, and that's how I ended up going to the States. Starting out was very different because I know this is quite ignorant to say, but I thought when I land in the US, those Lamborghinis I see, I didn't think that there's anything like homelessness. I didn't think that the first place I was going to live is going to be in the hood,
Yeah. You
so
just see that in the movies.
Yeah, and so for me, it was like getting there, and I'm like, hold up. Hata kwangu hapo zima hapo South Beach jamani, place nimelandia kwani kuko hivi pia,
Yeah, so, okay, and then just even before sorry to cut you off.
No worries.
Just talk about the job that you left here before you went to the States. And just the contrast of the two, like from a job that you had which was like, a permanent job, right?
Yeah.
She quit her permanent job in Kenya, which was a really good job to go to the States and pursue What would you say you want to pursue? Because you left a good job.
This is the point where John wants to embarrass me, but I will be more than glad to shamelessly share.
Yeah, I want people to connect to that so that they just know what exactly happens in that transformation.
So by the time I was leaving here, I was working for an international organization, and I had a great job, probably the best job that I'd ever held. But then this opportunity came by, and I must say I was ignorant. I was less informed about what I was going to expect. So, but also as a risk taker, I took the risk, and then I moved there. And it was quite a contrast because, believe it or not, the first 3 months, I thought to myself, I have work experience. I had already had my undergrad in finance. You know, I'm going to go there.
Papers.
You know, I got my papers good. I'm just going to go there, and then I'm going to work in this bank or like a fancy environment. But that wasn't the case. So my
live
first
in Malibu,
job,
perhaps.
I know, right? You know, my first job was actually taking care of a terminally ill 90-year-old lady.
Yeah.
Very, very humbling. And it's funny because I was like, siwezi do job kayo, you know, that kind of thing. Wapi. And you're thinking, you know what, me by the time I was leaving where I was working, it's like, you know, I was enjoying a very good life, you know.
Nice apartment.
Nice place.
Nice car.
I had a car. My internet was paid for. You know.
Entertainment allowance, perhaps.
I was enjoying a good life.
You were in a good place.
True.
Yeah.
And, you know, I still didn't think, even though I'd heard that that's what happened, for me starting out, I didn't think that that's where I was going to start.
You're actually aiming for something better than what you had.
Yes. And I think that's what motivates you to live, because you're thinking, you know what, there's a good life.
There's definitely something better out there.
I think I wish I would have researched better. I was spoken to people, you know, just about the experience, but I'm also very hard-headed, so I was just like, Ata msiniambie, you know, I think the few people were trying to tell me life is not as easy like that, but I was like, wapi, who, me, I'm going to go. And so, you know, I got there, I'd say 3 months jobless, and it had been quite a long while since I'd been jobless. And at some point in time,
you don't even know how it feels to be jobless.
I know, at that time, because I started working very early. At 18 I was working. I think I left here when I was 26, and at 18 I was already working at KRA, so I knew what it means from the time I'm 18 years old to actually have money. And getting there and then being jobless, and I was staying with my cousin, and my cousin's wife was like, look, I'm expecting nimepata hii job, end of a job, when do kukaa kwa house. So my first, here I am, I've never washed someone, and I've never taken care of someone. So you're taking care of a terminally ill person, 90-year-old.
I've never washed someone too. Come to think of it, I have.
Oh, you have?
But the circumstances were different.
Not because you're being paid for it, but maybe because it's a family member or something.
No.
What?
I was just having fun with someone. Let me just put it that way.
Shameless plug, guys. Shameless plug.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, just proceed.
Yeah,
please.
so I mean, I think that was really a very humbling experience.
Yeah.
I mean, at the same time, I was very fortunate in the sense of, though I started that same job, I had secured another job that was just starting at a later time, which was at a call center. And really, what I was doing at the call center was really helping people to understand their health benefits. So I'm the one who walks you through, this is how your benefits work.
The rates, this is what it covers.
Correct. Exactly.
This is how much you're supposed to pay if you're, you know,
exactly
your payment is due.
Yes, exactly that. And you know, I worked in that job for 2 weeks. The lady ended up passing on. It was very humbling, but it was an experience that I needed to go through, because sometimes you don't get to appreciate the people who offer these services. And it was the first time I could connect with them, and really also just connect with someone who's terminally ill. I've never had to experience that. So it really, though it was what I would have thought was going to be a low moment, it brought a lot of maturity within me.
Yeah.
And then from there I went to a call center. And so here is this Kenyan girl who has a Kenyan accent, and you're trying to answer these calls of people who are rude, people who are stressed out, people who want their medical benefits to do things that are not covered. And guess who's answering the phone?
Yeah.
It's this girl with an accent. Do you know what used to happen, John?
Yeah.
Mtu anashika simu anasema, excuse me, I'm not going to talk to you. You have an accent. Can I speak to someone who speaks American English? And I'm like, okay. And that kept on happening over and over again.
And I'm sure it definitely messes up with, like, you just psychologically, you start feeling like, it breaks you down a bit.
And it's interesting because I am one of those people who I've always had a very great high self-esteem. I've always known, been very confident with my abilities. I mean, in school I was at least part of the top of my school, even when I went to do my undergrad. So I've always
the people I used to hate in school because
So I always used to shine.
And
when I landed there, it's like instead my superiority complex, if I would say so, became an inferiority complex. I felt myself like so unworthy, and especially when you're thinking you can explain to this person what they need, and you can explain it, but because of how you speak and how you're talking, they're like, no, they want to speak to someone else.
Because even at your very best,
yeah,
somebody's still telling you, no, this is not good enough.
Yeah, this is not good enough. And I think what ended up happening is, and that's how, if you know how you say that, you feel like I'm talking about twang. No, I had to be smart enough to understand what are those words that I'm saying that people can't really understand me, and how can I refine them.
What are some of these words? Before we go on, just tell me like one or two.
I think the funniest one is, I think us guys here say Z, letter Z,
Oh.
So say for example, I'm trying to spell out something for someone, maybe they want their membership number, so I would say X, Y, and then I would say Z, and they're like Z, they're like, what?
Z?
They're like Z, they say
what?
Z, so it's like Z, so it's like, what are you saying? So those small things. So I would say, like I said, I used to say computer, and someone's like, what do you mean computer? It's like, so he's like, okay, computer,
computer,
and then what I try to make sure is that how I speak and I pronounce myself was very clear, very precise, short sentences, direct to the point. So these are survival mechanisms, and I feel like
that you have to adapt, or else, because I'm guessing even making an order online, ordering for pizza, you can't be there with the Kenyan accent. Definitely they'll be like,
what? And it still happens.
Can you speak English?
Yeah, and I think that was my work experience. In terms of the culture shock, moving on to that, is people always stop you and ask you, where are you from? Mm-hmm. And there are two instances you can look at it. I used to look at it like these people want to discriminate against me. And so I hated that question. And it took me a lot of growth and maturity to actually realize the reason they're asking this is because they are actually surprised that you're speaking in their midst and you sound different, and at some point in time, after a lot of practice, I realized anytime someone asks me, where are you from, I actually say I'm from Kenya. Have you been there? And so what I had to learn to do is, how do I take this experiences that I feel are somewhat negative and then turn them positive.
Yeah, flip them to, something that's actually good.
If it was you and I say, where are you from? Like, I'm from Kenya. Have you been to Kenya? You should go there. I tell them about Kenya. And it became like conversation starters. And it also opened my mind. Sometimes you want to discriminate, nilo una sound tofauti.
They just want to know. Genuinely just want to know. Because I hear even like there's some places in Asia, if you go, like people see your hair and they really want to take pictures with you. It's because they've never seen somebody like you. So that I definitely get where you're coming from. Yeah. So now tell me about just the culture shock in general.
Yeah.
Maybe the food, maybe going to the malls.
Yeah.
Shopping.
I think the first thing that
and then we'll go to dating, of course.
The juice.
Yeah.
How can you have a Kisscapades podcast without talking about dating?
Has to be there.
Oh, well, I think some of my culture shocks. This is the funniest thing.
Yeah.
Once I started working on the call center, I was driving my cousin's car, and I didn't know how to fill gas. Petroli, so, and there it's like when you're trying to figure out. So I went there, I literally had to humble myself and ask a colleague, like, hey, you know what, can we drive together? So when we get to the gas station,
I just want to see how it's done.
Yeah, just show me, because it's a self-sufficient system. You go, you put in your card, you do your thing, you pay, and you pump the gas by yourself.
Yeah, it's not like Kenya. You just walk. Niweke at 200.
Niweke at 200. So that was a shock for me, and it was a very humbling experience as well. And then I think just going there, the roads are bigger, and you're like, first sometimes you're going east and you think you're going west because it all looks alike. It's so for me, because I started off in Virginia,
and definitely, let's say if you left, when did you leave
2012
Kenya? 2012. So that means like even the infrastructure that we had then, and then you transform to the American, it's just way too. I don't even understand how you can drive there.
I think that's the time they're trying to do the thicker road, because I remember seeing that. Because right now even this bypass is very new for me. But that time it wasn't there. But getting there and then seeing the roads, and the one thing that I've realized is the people there. Mtu anaweza kuwa ana akili mob, but they
What do you
know,
mean by that?
no offense.
Yeah.
But one thing I know with these people, they express themselves with a lot of confidence.
Yeah.
So you can feel like someone is selling you shit. Oh, excuse my French.
No.
To say that?
Listen, you can cut. Listen, this podcast is not owned by anyone. It's owned by me.
Good.
You can express yourself, just like the Americans have taught you.
Someone is selling you some bull crap.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, they are selling it to you in a manner that is confident, very clear, and I think that was the shift that was very different, because sometimes here it's like, if I wasn't exposed to situations where everyone is very confident. I had been exposed to some, but those some were, maybe it's a senior person, it's a manager.
We are definitely anybody who's above with authority.
Correct.
Those are the people now that assume confidence.
But by ourselves, like if you're junior, that was never really there, and
we're even taught to humble ourselves.
Yeah.
Like, when somebody comes into the room, they have authority. Please,
just humble yourself.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing that was a culture shock for me was, once I did the call center, which I did for about 3 years as I was going to grad school. So I went to grad school, studied economics, and then I started looking for a job. I was very fortunate. I got a job with what I would say is really, not what I would say, what really is the number one investment bank in the world. Working there,
Cheers to that. Cheers to that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what became a culture shock for me is when I started working and I was given responsibilities. We are so used to the fact that our managers, kukiwa na shida, it's your manager who fixes the problem.
Yeah.
You do the job, but shida, nitaongea na manager yangu. People are not independent in owning their tasks and responsibilities. So when I started, I was struggling at my job, which was very hard for me, because even in grad school, I graduated summa cum laude, and I was just used to being a good performer. But then now you go to work, and even my past jobs, even just in the call center, I was working really well.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I go to this top farm in corporate America, and I'm not delivering. You know why? Because sababu
incompetence. The incompetence in this person.
Unangalia performance development yako, they're like, baby girl, you need to pull up your socks.
Yeah, and you've done your best, and you're really struggling to do your best.
And people who are much younger, who've just joined, and they're still doing better. So what I realized,
more efficient.
Correct. And what I realized is, which to me right now, I look back and I think it was part of my culture shock, is whenever I had a task and I was stuck, I would sit and be like, hey manager, can you figure this out, whereas, and they didn't understand why I was not doing it. But for me, nimezoea from coming from here, nikiwa na shida, it's my manager who actually solves the problem. Hey, my manager has never let me own independently, at least that was my experience. So I had to get to the point of realizing, Mary, this is your task, you own it front to back. Kukiwa na shida, figure it out, and guess what? You will be the one who's going to present it to the most senior managers, to the MDs of the company. We are so used that it's our managers who go and do it. No, because you do that task, you are the subject matter expert. Any questions, anything, you will be the one who's sitting there giving feedback, giving report, giving solutions, no matter how junior you were. So that for me was a culture shock, because being empowered to that level, and
you're just not used to it.
I'm not used to it. So there you are, you're shaking and you're thinking, my manager, can you do this? He's looking at you like, kwani nimekuhire for what? Where have I hired you? You know?
Get the job done.
Yeah,
this is what you wanted. Get the job done.
Yeah, so I think that was a culture shock. Now I appreciate it, because for me, it's like anytime I have a task, I look at it in the sense of, this is me, I'm responsible for it, I'm responsible for figuring solutions. When I go to my manager, I'm not going to tell my manager, nimekwama hapa. I tell my manager, hey, this is the challenge I had, these are the solutions I've tried to get, this is the outcome I'm getting. Is there anything more we can do? So your manager is more so not someone who is supposed to be doing the job for you or the hard job, but literally just a guide. That's all they are. They're just to guide you to the right place, but not to do anything for you. So that was a culture shock.
How long do you think it would take, like just an average person to just be able to survive in an office, be accepted, and definitely climb up the ranks?
It depends on your confidence. It depends on what you believe you're worth, because it's an energy. It's how you carry yourself. If you enter a room and umenyamaza, umekimya, unaangalia chini, you think anyone's going to notice you, but you enter that room like, you know what, like I always remember this. One time I entered and it was a very big meeting with senior managers. Mimi kama, Mary ata kai nyuma. And my manager tells me, because right at the center of the table is where the MD was going to be sitting. And the only empty seat was the seat next to him. And I'm thinking, I'm the most junior person here.
I can't possibly
I can't sit.
I'm
I can't
not
sit
supposed
there,
to sit there. Yeah.
And my manager comes and says, Mary, can you claim your seat on the table? And there I was sitting there, and all his direct reports all sat, and I'm sitting next to him. And I realized, how quick you can rise depends on how confident you are, your self-esteem, and how good you are at your job. So it's really a combination of factors. And
confidence definitely plays a lot.
Correct.
You need to work on
Correct. The only thing that I can say that is very important that you have to learn in order to progress, even if you're good at your work, soft skills are very important. Communication, presentation, networking. It is absolutely important. So, because guess what? It's the people that you speak with that are going to elevate you. They're going to open the doors to opportunities. So, I'm normally very introverted.
No, but that's like the in thing. Like right now, I'm an introvert. Actually, people seem to think like it's cool to be an introvert. Like right now, it can play out maybe in college, but once you get out there and you need to make money and make ends meet, listen, you need to talk to people.
In corporate America, it's all about networking. It's absolutely all about you'll find someone who even works less, you're even more hardworking than them, but the person is getting a promotion because of they knew what to say, how to say it, they connected with the right people. So at some point your hard work will get you to a certain level, but what carries you, do you have those soft skills? And so I think, look, I understand personalities are different. I mean, I think I'm an extrovert, but at the same time, I think that even if you're an introvert, you can see someone say, hey, how are you doing? What are you working on? What is the day? What do you do for your weekend? Just those small cons. And
I'm always trying to get a lot of my friends and people I meet out of that shell, because there's some people, like, personally, just from experience and people around me, I know a lot of people who are just like, if I go somewhere, I don't really need to talk to people. I'm like, why would you go to an event or a party
and then you
don't want to talk to anyone? What do you mean? Like, I'm there for my drink. No, go network, talk. You just don't know the person that you're talking to. This might be your future hubby, future best friend, somebody who's going to open more doors for you, bring business towards you.
And it's interesting that you say that, because when I started the bank, I started in a role. I thought I was going to be, analyzing all these numbers that are coming down from Wall Street. But very interestingly, I realized that that's not where my strength was, which is where I struggled. But every day when I went to get coffee, there was someone I would bump into this guy. And for us, sometimes it can be business casual, can have jeans. So I'm saying, oh, hey, how are you? Good, hey. And, he also asked me, where is your accent from? I told him, I didn't realize at that time that the person I'm constantly saying hi to is the managing director. I did not realize that.
See that?
And what ended up happening is when I started struggling in my job and I realized I didn't enjoy it, and they were like, these companies, they're like, we can get anyone. So it's like, if you're not doing your job well, girl, they're going to tell you deuces. But do you know that person from those small interactions learned, okay, Mary has something else. I think that maybe this is not a good fit for her, but I want her to come and lead communications. And pretty much that networking opportunity is what actually opened the doors for me to actually change my role and now do something that I enjoy better.
Do you have citizenship?
Yes, I'm a citizen now. Yeah.
So guys, listen.
Come on now.
Guys are trying to move in the States.
It ain't no big deal.
Listen. Plus you're single, right?
Come on. Yes, I am single.
Do you have good credit?
Yes, I do.
Listen, guys, slide in that DM. So, talking about that, we've just touched a bit on, the work and how it can be hard in corporate, but just blending in and trying your best to climb up the ropes. So, let's just move to something that's more, relaxed.
Light.
Let's go to the dating scene.
Okay.
How's like your dating life there? How was it? How has it been?
Oh my gosh, can I say it's almost non-existent?
What?
I know.
What are you talking about?
So I think we work so hard. If I give you a rundown of my days, I wake up, I go to work, I come back home. If I haven't gone to the gym in the morning, I'll go to the gym in the morning. I come back and I'm done. I'm like done, and that's the routine Monday to Friday.
There's no space for a man in your life?
No, can I be honest? It's not that there's no space. I have, you make space for something that is there.
Or are you one of those people who are like, at being with a man, it's just like babysitting someone, taking care of a big baby?
No, I think life is better shared. Look, I'm not saying, I know that relationships are not easy,
Yeah.
but I feel like life is better shared. The only thing is, life is better shared with the right person. You might as well be alone than be with someone and in bad company.
Yeah, bad company, definitely not.
So I feel like what's been happening with my life, first of all, I was telling my dad this yesterday.
Yeah.
Because they were like, hey, my girl, like, what's happening?
We need babies.
What is
we need
happening?
babies. We want
He's telling me there are
grandchildren.
these 4 stages of life, and I'm on that 3rd stage, which is called producing.
Oh.
And I told my dad, it's like, most people go on online dating because it's like everyone's so busy. So you
That's
try
what
online
works
dating.
there?
It does work. It's one of the best way to get people who are constantly working and they don't know where to meet other single people. Have I tried?
How do you know you're meeting like some psycho?
You don't. But look,
Or go to Christian Mingle.
You can try that. Look, I've tried. Let me tell you. You know all the things I've tried. Okay, I've tried Christian Mingle. I've tried Cupid. I've tried CMB, which is Coffee Meets Bagel. I've tried Catholics Major. Let me tell you.
Tinder?
No, I've not tried Tinder. I feel like I think Tinder is popular here, but then Tinder there is like the
for the wrong reasons here.
But
I mean, here
even there it's for the wrong reasons. So it's like me. I
for
do
here,
want
for
Tinder.
like in Kenya, I think it's for sex tourism. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's the same thing as well. It's the
Yeah.
same thing. So people who are serious move to like Cupid, Christian Mingle. I've
Yeah,
also
like
tried Match.com.
you're looking for a lifetime partner, like
Yes.
somebody who's genuinely busy as well,
Yeah.
and they just want to connect with somebody who has similar interests.
Correct. And I think my experience, let me tell you, nilipata mtu mwenye, unaangalia, the messages are coming. You look at this guy, you're like, hey, even this one, if my mom sees him, they'll start running away,
What? Why?
Someone, okay, so mtu akona tattoo mpaka chini ya macho. That whole, the whole Lil Wayne look. You think you're gonna
But
be?
listen,
What?
they might be genuinely a nice person.
They might be. They might. I feel like it's all about your preference, and I feel like no one thing is.
Never dated anyone with tattoos?
I can. No, don't get me wrong. But
Not
I'm
if you
saying-
can, have you?
Have I? No, I haven't. Can
So
I?
how
Yes.
how would you know it's
No. There are these people who have these crazy piercings. Pierce huku mpaka
It's
maskini
just
hang.
art. It's just and
Listen.
plus, we're not in Kenya anymore, right?
And I agree. So
Yeah.
this is the thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I also don't think there's anything wrong with preferring something different.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it's really
It's your personal
can you-
preference.
Correct. Can you get what your preference is?
Yeah.
And for me, I would get so many people, sliding into my message box, but I look at them, you're like, what? And the other thing I've been trying to control when it comes to dating is I don't want to be anxious. So at some point I was like, you know what? You have a good life and enjoy yourself, learn yourself, jijue.
Yeah.
And so because of that, it's like right now I'm not dating.
Why? How's your dad supposed to get like grandchildren if you're not? Are you looking forward to dating?
Yes, I am. Can
Okay,
I go on a date?
what kind of guys do you like?
Okay, what kind of guys do I like? I'm trying. I think as I've grown, I know.
Tall, white, and handsome.
No, it's funny. I've dated a white guy before, and I think one of the things that I liked about dating a black guy, a Kenyan specifically, was we shared the same culture. So I wouldn't tell you, look, I'm looking white, black.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I think like a lot of Kenyan girls now, the trend is like get a white guy,
Okay.
move with them to, either Sweden.
Look, I feel
Somewhere
like
in
the
Europe.
first thing is, do you connect
Actually,
to
the
heart?
theme right now is like Kenyan men are trash.
Oh, really?
That's the theme.
Are
Yeah.
they? That's what I'm going to ask you. Are they?
Listen,
Are they?
I'm here. Am I trash?
Are they? Are you?
No.
Okay, there you
No.
Just the way
No.
you say it.
But that's just the norm. Like right now, like Kenyan men are just trash. They're not. They're deadbeat dads. They're
Yeah.
this and that. But I think your energy attracts the kind of person you end with. Because if that's the notion that you have in your head, you have to think about it this way: when a nice guy comes towards you,
Yeah.
you'll put off that energy.
Yeah.
And what will this nice guy do?
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna go away.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, now I can't really deal with this.
Yeah.
You have to
Kiss
keep.
bandit. Can I give you a kiss on the cheek?
Right.
Mwah, I'm telling you.
Now we can definitely continue the podcast. And of course, let's just give a shout out to Art Cafe. Thank you for the space.
Thank you. What
The
this
beautiful.
is?
It's called Berry Kiss. Yes.
Berry kiss. This
That's
is.
why.
I
That's
think
why
this is-
you just had like
I
that
know.
feeling like
had
I
to
need to
give
kiss someone.
The Berry made sure that I gave a kiss
Yes.
to the kiss bandit himself. Can we just say that in a silky smooth voice?
You should do voiceovers. You can actually do like some amazing voiceovers. Okay, so let's pick it up from where we were. We're talking about dating and stuff.
Yes.
And then, I was just asking you like the kind of guys you're into.
Okay.
Yeah. We're saying how Kenyan men are trash. You were saying how.
Whoa,
No. I'm playing.
Whoa,
No.
you.
I was just saying like how the norm is like right now. Online, everybody's like, oh, Kenyan men are trash. Kenyan men are this. It's like, nobody's into Kenyan men anymore.
And you say
I'm
that
just surprised that you actually said that, the best person that you dated because of the culture was Kenyan.
Well, he was actually Tanzanian, but
Oh, Lord.
he was Tanzanian.
Tanzanians are those guys who are always singing for girls, taking their shirts off.
He wasn't
they spend
singing
all
for
the
me.
time
He
in
wasn't
the
taking his
gym.
shirt for me. I don't even know what he was doing for me.
He wasn't?
Nothing, absolutely nothing. That's why he's past tense.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's nice to hear.
But let's go back to the basics. The truth is, in every culture, in every, there are people who are going to be trash. I think that when people take this term and say trash, they're just generalizing everyone. They are good Kenyan men, just that they're good Caucasian men, and they're good Indian men, and they're good, Asian men.
For sure.
I think really is when we say that people are trash, we should also take a step back and ask, how are we presenting ourselves in a relationship?
Or why are you attracting trash?
Correct.
Yeah.
Are we being what we want to see of our significant other?
True.
And I think that's what we need to work on. I think for me, one thing that I realized having dated a Caucasian and having dated the Tanzanian is there are two things. With the Caucasian, I like that he respected my culture, and that's important. If I don't date someone in my culture, I can respect and understand your culture, and vice versa. And I enjoyed that. But I'll tell you something. Why with the Tanzanian, it was very beautiful. We were able to speak Swahili in the middle of nowhere. Tulikuwa tunaweza kula chapo, tunakula dengu. Tulikuwa tunaona mtu anapita tunamsengenya kwa Kiswahili. It was very beautiful. And it was the first time that I realized, wow, whenever we date people who are not in the same culture, we miss this moment.
We definitely
miss those things.
It's a big challenge, definitely.
And so if you were to ask me my preference, would I prefer to date someone of the same culture versus not? My preference I would actually want to date someone of the same culture. However, I am also at the point in my life where I understand that, love happens. And as long as the other person is respectful of my culture, as of course I am of theirs, I am open. But I feel like, being single and being in America and being young, and I think it is very important for our young girls out there to realize that you can be able to use your single time to become your best self. What do you want from the other person? And we don't always have to think of chasing down guys or, watanifanyia nini, watanibaya nini.
Actually, why don't you just, because listen, you're young, beautiful. Why don't you just let a man take care of you?
Look, I'm very traditional in the sense of I wouldn't mind the man to be the head of the household. But I want to have my own career, because guess what? His career is his fulfillment. He's his own life and my own life. We're just here to walk life together. And you taking care. I'm too intelligent to just sit at home and just.
True.
That's me. I'm not calling out on anyone who is.
What are you trying to say about other women?
No, but I think for me, even hata kama angekuwa na do, how much do I'd rather even use my skills and my talent and volunteer. But the whole idea of me just sitting home doing nothing,
no, you're not just sitting. And if it's somebody who's like you said, someone who's in a good position, fly you out to Dubai, go to Paris,
There's more to life to
that's the current. But that's the current trend.
Well, that's why the current.
That's the trend.
Actually, the truth that people don't realize is it's not fulfilling. Traveling is enjoyable. But that whole life where you're hoping for someone who will you catch ndio atakubaya nini, you're always selling yourself short, doing the things that you don't want. At the end of the day, it's not fulfilling. You're not living your best life. Unakufa kesho, unasema you are empty. You never knew yourself. You never enjoyed life. And the truth is, girls, we've been waiting for so long. We should start thinking of nitajipeleka wapi. How can I make sure that 1 year from now I save to make sure unajua nini sijaenda Zanzibar, it's the nearest, it's within my means, what nianze ku save. And the thing that people don't do is short term, delay that gratification. We always want things instantly. Unajua nataka saizi. Unajua, and that's why you find, even women selling themselves, nataka hizi viatu zinaendelea. People don't have to realize you can work hard, delay that short term sacrifice for long term.
Very true. And it always makes sense if you think about if you've been down hustling different types of things. It's so fulfilling when you can do things for yourself. And then you start wondering, like, why was I even depending on someone for this and that? But on to my next question, an interesting one.
Look at you.
Would you? Yeah, you're in a nice position, right? You're working, you have good credit. You can do a lot of things for yourself. You can go on holiday, you can go shopping. Would you date a guy who's still trying to discover themselves? They're not sure, they're not in a nice financial position, they're just chilling at home. You know, maybe they have this idea. You know how it works in the States. At least they have systems that work. This guy is coming up with an invention. He's still pitching here and there. He's going to Akina Shark Tank. Today he's at where he's just pitching. But when you come home, he's just chilling there in a boxer's vest and he's playing PlayStation. But he's chilling, but he's still working on something. He's still trying to get like that patent or that product out there that's going to change the world.
Well,
and jackpot like pop.
Let's
would you be in a
I would start by saying that work-life balance is important. So if I can be able to say that this is their rest time, because think about it, the best ideas need you to be quiet and relaxed. They need you to withdraw from that heavy, intense engagement moment.
That's why the guy is chilling at home playing PlayStation the whole day.
I don't need you to be rich and filthy rich. I just need you to have ambition and to have drive and to be a hard worker, you know, because I feel like I've gotten myself to where I am. I'm very independent and I'm very hardworking, and I've really, it's funny. There was a time when I was jobless in Nairobi, and I literally walked to all the banks in the city center, dropping off my resume. Literally all of them, dropping one by one. I go there, hey, natafuta kazi, and it's funny because one of them paid off. So look, I didn't have the job, but I had the drive. So I think the thing with the guy is. And I also used to chill. Let's not forget that when I was chilling at some point.
Because there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, but at the same time, I just need you to look for. Chill, but don't super chill to the point that you're putting whatever. Like now, you become like you're lazy. You know.
There's nothing to do. Listen, I'm just waiting for the Shark Tank guys to call me.
John, there's always something to do.
Oh yeah, especially in the States, definitely.
No. Let's not say it's only in the States. Even here. If you really want to chill, look, if you're at home, you're like, I want to chill. You can even prepare a recipe, come up with a new recipe. Acha nijaribu kufanya hii. Ama unajua nini? Nyumba acha nipanguze. Leo maybe wacha ni decorate, or you do a DIY. Let me
something.
Create. There is
something on YouTube. Let me
There's always something to do. So that whole concept of there's nothing to do. No, it's just because you're thinking, you know what? I just want to chill here, which is only just want to come sit, lay my bum there. I don't want anything that takes my energy, and that's what happens.
No, but that's true. Yeah, and I'm just saying that's something, of course, even for the young people right now, they're too choosy with what they'd want to do.
Yeah.
It's okay, so if it gets to that point where, because even for me, just the same way you've explained, I know a lot of people who've also gone to the States.
Yeah.
And things didn't really go like they had planned, and they had to start from somewhere before they built themselves up. And the most common thing is always those nursing thingies that people do, which is definitely still going to make ends meet before you figure out exactly what you wanted to do, or if there's a dream that you are chasing, it's definitely going to take a little bit longer time. And more dedication, just like everything in life. And I'm thinking even if you're moving from Kenya to the States, you have to understand it's also very competitive.
And I think that's the thing that people don't realize, because you're actually competing against fellow Americans who actually have the American accent, and it's for the same job. And I think that's the one thing that I personally I was very ignorant. I was going there you know what, I've been working, I have experience, I got my shit together, I know how to present myself, I'm confident, I
know what I want to be paid.
Whoa. I landed there and you find you are competing with the same job that other people. So the job market is not as, there are jobs, the question is what kind of jobs, but if you really want to get those good, great jobs, you've got to put in some hard work. There's going to be some hard work. You've got to elevate yourself, elevate your style, look for something that makes you unique. But if what is nataka kuja huko maisha huko sio rahisi,
it's going to be hard. So if finish. Sorry, before interrupting.
It's funny because I was talking to a friend of mine who's like, you know what, I want to bring my son there. I had to tell my friend, I told her, look, you can be the one to tell me that you want to bring your son there, because it's not you who's going to be living the life. The day that your son says, hey, nataka kukuja, then let me have that conversation, because the last thing
but
you
not
want
you.
Correct, it can't be
Don't
you.
push them to a place and then
cannot. Yeah, so you know what, yeye ndo atakuwa kifanya kazi, yeye ndo atakuwa kihustle, so until it comes from them, then
just don't. There is no need.
Yeah, or else their work ethic,
don't want them to turn into this scammers we see on.
True. Alafu mimi ndo napigiwa simu uko we kuna venye
I need bail money.
Yeah.
I need bail money. So in a relationship, do you think like both parties should just be able to bring something on the table? Because like, you know, there's the whole beauty thing, but them bringing beauty to the table, I'm pretty.
When you say beauty thing, what do you mean? Can you expound on that? Ati mrembo, ati juko mrembo.
Yeah, yes.
Ati mrembo kwa relationships.
Yes.
Itazaeka wrinkles come, my friends.
And that's what I keep trying to say, because you have to understand, you know, let's say you bring in beauty. That's what you bring in the relationship.
How do you bring beauty in a relationship? You're bringing nothing.
But there are people who genuinely like.
But because
that's what.
You mnatafuta trophy wife.
No.
Trophy wife. Kingia mahali kila mtu anaangalia.
Like even for me, it's not even about that anymore, because any smart person understands. Like just in case shit hits the fan, you should be able. Like even let's say, okay, God forbid, like you pass away, and even let's say yes, you did have money and stuff, but you left it. You don't want somebody who is not able to even just continue the legacy that you've already started, take care of things when you're not around. You really need that support system between each other. It's not just about beauty. Beauty it can be really overrated if you're trying to look at a long-term relationship. And that's why I think a lot of people are really confused right now. Because like, hey, Ati, somebody's supposed to do A, B, C, and D for me because I'm pretty. Like,
what?
But you have to understand, yes, if you're pretty, but how many other pretty people are there? You have to tell me, just show me something that is unique about yourself. Because you can find beauty anywhere.
You can. And people don't realize, you know, at some point, whether it's female, we'll have kids, our bodies will stretch, we'll have wrinkles. You can have an accident one day, lose your arm. Like, at least
anything can happen.
I've gone to the point in terms of growth and maturity that I do know. But, you know, one of my past ex was this tall, you know, Hercules, good-looking figure. He was a piece of shell in the inside. He was, you know, tall, dark, handsome, you know. But on the inside, looks good, dressed well, but inside is just a piece of empty shell. And I think that experience just made me realize that, you know what?
It's not about this.
It is not.
It's not what I want.
We grow old and you want someone who still loves you. If this person is so focused on looks, what happens when your body stretches because you've had kids? What happens when the wrinkle comes in? You'll always be insecure.
You can't function.
In terms of, back to your original question on the same, in terms of, you know, what, you know, do you want, you know, your partner, who brings what? I think that was your question, you know. Personally, me, I don't mind contributing to the household. Look, I would like to...
What do you mean? You mean you'll take care of the bills?
I don't mind helping to take care. Like, you know what? And maybe I'm a bit too liberal in this perspective. I think we want to enjoy life. We want to make life as easy and as smooth. Look, if we can bring our money together, pay those bills, what are we left with? Can we travel? Can we save? Can we invest? Mbona mtu moja ndio akue ati nabeba mzigo yote, and then unapata you guys can't enjoy life because that person has to constantly focus on work, has to
make you happy,
because
they know you won't be happy if you're not.
Correct. So the truth for me is, if I'm working, I don't mind bringing that to the house and say, okay, you know what, let's bring this together. Personally, I'm very big on, you know what, if you want to have your money by yourself, we're back is single, do that thing. But I feel like if I'm trying to get into this partnership that's going to be a life partnership, why don't we bring whatever we have? Haya bills zetu ni ngapi, tutoe bills, savings zetu, emergencies zetu tutatoi, tuebaki na ngapi, tuende tujienjoy.
Let's balance.
You know, and then that way, guess what, you enjoy life.
So you don't think that, you know, that the way maybe some chicks say, like, pesa yangu ni yangu, alafu yako ni yetu?
No, I still feel like even if we're bringing our kitty together, no, if I get married, I just want, for me, at least,
how do you want that financial story to go?
For me, I feel like even before you get into that relationship with that person,
I
mean, not a marriage, let's talk about money. How do we want to work on? And I think that's a conversation that is always missing. Like, I was talking to a friend of mine and she's like, I don't even know what he earns. And I'm like, nimpatie, you know, list nione. You don't know how much this guy earns. He doesn't know how you earn. Me, I would prefer, my preference would be, you know what, let's talk about money. How do you want to use money? How do you want to save? How do you want to make sure, you know, a guy needs to also have his own money. He can do his thing. I also need my own money to do my own thing, you know. So how do you want to balance that? And if we can talk about money at the very beginning, and we can have an agreement that works. But at the same time, remember, we are married. We're not single individuals, so we have to come together. You know, it's not about hizo siku zako za pesa ni zako and pesa ni zako, hizo siku libaki nazo. But it also involves a lot of trust, because sometimes unapata
trust has to be there.
The reason watu wanaamua wajiekeke ni kwa sababu trust huyo mtu, and so sometimes, you know, mtu
anasema married to someone and then they trust, but it's tricky. It's really tricky, because even that's where like the prenups come in, and because you just never know. Because if you're signing a prenup, that definitely means that yes, I love you, but
pesha yangu ni yangu, pesha yangu ni yangu.
I just know it's not like 100%. That's what it means, basically.
It is.
So in case shit hits the fan, like, yo, listen.
And that's the same thing with
stay
chores.
with my money.
For me, I'm very big on, and it's that whole thing at siju nakuja new, and I don't know if again I'll say I'm very liberal here.
Let's talk about this Kwanzaa. Okay, so
let's talk about
who's cooking in the house?
Both of us. Him, if he gets home early, he'll cook. If I get home early, I'm cook. Whoever is free, whoever is capable. Eating is.
What if I just come home late every single day, intentionally?
Look, if this person cares for you, that's what
I
depends
do care.
on your relation.
I do care, but maybe cooking is just not my thing. Like, let's say, like for me, I'd be honest, like cooking is just not my thing.
Okay.
Like, I'd rather pay someone money to come and do it. But
that makes sense.
Even if I did it, I can do it once or twice.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to give you like food poisoning. So what's the point?
I think this is the thing. Any relationship, when it comes to chores, it's what works for those two people. So
do you like cooking?
I don't mind it. Is it my first love? You know,
no, I know like people who genuinely like really love cooking and stuff. They cook, still work, but like cooking is like their thing.
Like
maybe because of culture, they were taught.
My sister-in-law cooks. Like she'll wake up in the middle of the night.
Exactly.
No, I'm not that kind. I cook because I want to eat good food, you know, and I want to present good food to the people who are coming, so I feel like it's delicious. Is it my first love? No. My first love, though, when it comes to house chores, is I love to clean. Mini wale watu unapanguza choo mpaka inabaki white, yenye ukimwaga soup unaweza lamba soup kutoka kwa.
No, but that's a good thing as well. I'm just saying, you know.
Soup. So it's two people finding out what's your balance. Like, you know, when I was dating the Caucasian guy, he liked to cook. So it was a good balance.
He liked to cook.
And
so maybe that's why.
Yeah, so he liked to cook, and what happened is we used to balance. Okay, unajipenda kupika. Wewe pika, acha nitapunguza huku. Whereas when I dated my Tanzanian fella, he didn't like to cook, but what we did is tulikuwa kwa jikoni tuko pamoja. Acha atakata nyanya na kitunguu, mimi nitafanya. So it worked. And I feel like the thing is this, chores shouldn't be something that drains a relationship. Because think about it, every person needs to eat. Hata kama ako mwenyewe.
You have to.
So you need to know how will you eating. Therefore, should not be like one of those chores that it is, you know, it drains you and takes away life, because it's a basic need.
And think about it this way: once you have like a kid, I mean, that's a whole different story. Like, I can't cook my experimental shit on the kid.
Who says the kid knows what is good or not?
No
you experiment.
Like, even for me, I'd be like, okay, because even like just how kids look sensitive, I'd be like, okay, Sarah, here's the thing. I know we are all in this equality thing, but you don't want child services to come here because the kid is being fed like some...
Where are the child services? Where are they? Hey, but can we agree one thing though?
Yeah.
That cooking is not those. It's not like a science.
No, it's not.
You're learning physics.
It's not.
So, which means hata vile unasema ati upendi kupika ni kwa sababu tu hautaki kujua kupika. Sio ati kwa sababu huwezi pika.
I don't have time for that shit. I don't even want to sugarcoat it.
So then that means someone else is one who's supposed to be having time for it.
No, listen. That's not what I've said.
Okay, good. What have you said?
Okay, let's think about it. What do you think are like the manly duties that you'd want a guy to take care of?
Honestly, if I had a lawn, mow the lawn, you know, that I would appreciate that. And then I think, you know, when it snows, like, you know, going and scraping off
the gutters
you know, go scrape off from the cars.
If there's a spider in the house, a snake.
Such stuff I would appreciate.
Think those are manly duties?
I don't think they're manly duties. Because I say that because when I moved...
Why can't you clean the gutters?
That's correct, because...
Aren't we equal? Why can't you go kill the snake and take it out of the house?
That's where I was going to go right now. When I moved once I got this new job and I had to move from Virginia to Delaware, what happened is I was living in a house with a single woman, and we were both of us. So guess what? It's a whole... She has a lawn. She was mowing the lawn. When it snowed, we were the ones who had to take care of, like, you know, removing the snow from our cars. So there are things that we can do. However, the question is preference. Like if I got just upendi kupika, mimi kaza mtu upate mtu anasema unajua nini? Wewe fanya hii na nifanye. It's what works for the two of you.
Definitely.
So if it works for the two of you guys, and I think you want it to be easy for each person. So I feel like when I look at house chores, it's really asking each other, wewe una enjoy kufanya nini, mimi na enjoy kufanya nini. Nini atu enjoy tu whatever tutafanya, tutabalance.
Another question, just quick one before maybe we go to the next topic.
Yes.
What do you think would be like what ideally is like just embracing like feminine like maybe chores? I don't know whether that statement is right, comes off right.
I think you're trying to say what are the feminine chores, because it is.
Because we have to understand like there
are there feminine chores?
Breastfeeding.
Feminine,
you know that. Listen, you know there's an actual argument, and I'm going to send you that. Listen, why I'm saying it that way, because there's an actual video and people are having this debate. Like, if I'm breastfeeding and I actually don't have to breastfeed. I can do the suction, what do you call it?
Yeah, you pump the milk.
You pump the milk, but the guy can, so that he can also play the same role and feel as we're balancing the duty of sort of like feeding. But now you see, like that just brings even the debate to a kid who doesn't even deserve that by then.
Can I tell you the truth? Is in this particular topic, there really isn't right and wrong, and the balancing of the chores just depends on the people. Because guess what? When you say the feminine chores, I know, but I want to breastfeed. That would be my preference, and I don't want to get
exactly. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay.
But I just want to. There's some things like I don't know how I can put it this way and make it just sound proper without somebody maybe going afterwards like,
what are those chores that I feel I should be able to do as a female in supporting my partner?
Without putting that line like, a guy is supposed to do this.
So for me, if you ask me, I think it's very important to make sure my man leaves the house looking good. Like I don't want you to leave with a wrinkled shirt or a torn shirt. And it's like unajua look good. Like I want to make sure unajua viatu wako nazo nzuri kama ayuko nazo. Like I would enjoy that. What shoes you need. I know his style. I bring that. Even if he didn't go shopping for the clothes, I would do that if I knew his style. I think that's something that for me I would definitely want to do.
What else?
Then beyond that, I'm very big on what I would say as for me as an intellectual, I'm very big on intellectual stimulating conversations and finding out, what are you trying to achieve? What are you doing? Like just engaging them in that perspective and not necessarily telling them what to do, but kind of sort of being that soundboard and bouncing back, that support. The way they say that it's the woman behind, No,
it's so important and people don't even realize that. Because even like, even because we can say just even physical, how we've been made physically. We're different. But I can say like women can be a bit more sensitive in other ways that men are not. Men can be more sensitive to maybe physical ways. And we were just designed like that.
True.
It's not like it's something that we chose or we're just designed like that. So even when it comes to men are most probably stronger than women.
Yes, I will agree to that.
Is that, see, am I sexist
no,
for saying
that?
No,
I'm
you're
just
not.
Saying,
not
like
that's just, we have 20 minutes to go.
Okay,
so let's wind up on what we were talking about before we go to the last. It was dating, and I was trying to say about how we can just both support each other. I can pick things that can easily be done by a man. And make things easier for you. And I think it would only be fair if you have similar things that can, make my work easier.
And I think that's the main thing. It's really about two people and enjoying life, because chores are not supposed to be burdening us. They're just supposed to make sure they complement life. Like, we're in a clean environment, we are enjoying food, we are not staying hungry, and the food we do is we enjoy it, and they shouldn't weigh us down to the point that they take the joy out of the relationship. And I think we just have to be able to believe that we are capable of supporting the men in the household and have a great partnership and have a great relationship. And it's not just, it doesn't have to be like concrete defined, these are men chores, these are women chores. It's really what works for you guys.
I even think it's not even about like just physical chores. I think just mental space where you put each other, that plays a very big role on how you're going to accomplish tasks at work.
Sure.
You're 8 to 5, how you're going to complete. If I'm a freelance person, how I'm going to be able to focus on my work.
Yeah.
Because, I'm in the entertainment industry.
Yeah.
Most likely there are going to be so many females around me.
Yeah.
Makeup art. No, I'm just saying, listen.
We put that shameless plug. Can we start off by asking, are you single?
I'm very single.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You all had it right here at the Podcast.
But
there's a but. Okay.
No. The but is like I'm definitely always on and off dates. I'm always going out to meet new people and stuff, but I don't have anything serious going on.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because
someone can slide in your DM. Is that what you're saying?
They can slide in my DM. Can slide in my
ladies,
DM.
if you
can slide in my DM, as long as you bring in something to the table.
And that not your beauty.
Baby girl. No, beauty is everywhere. Because I mean, like if you go to my Instagram, you'll see amazing, lots and lots of beautiful women. So it's for me especially, it's not about beauty anymore.
Yeah.
I think maybe when you're getting into, maybe you finished school, you get excited with all these new faces, all these girls you meet and everything.
You guys are still saying super? Is that something
no,
you say?
You've been away for a very long time. You've been but we still use it. Kenyan slang is just there to stay. It doesn't go anywhere anyway. But I'm just saying, after a while you definitely come to realize, because even like you said, you dated somebody who's like, this well-built, tall, dark and handsome guy, right?
He is delicious to look at, I will tell you that.
But if the brain doesn't match like the body, come on.
Piece of shell.
Yeah. It just doesn't. It's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Because you start noticing that you're actually wasting a lot of your time with this person that you thought were going to make you happy.
Yeah.
But you're not happy at all.
You're not. And it's funny how looks can't give you fulfillment.
They won't.
They won't give you happiness.
They won't.
They don't give you fulfillment. It's the actions. The person's actions are the ones that actually, and how your relationship is together.
What do you think of the Instagram models? That's a thing actually in Kenya.
Instagram models. So
what do you think of Instagram? We have Instagram models.
Can I start off by being very ignorant and asking, what do Instagram models do? They just post their pictures or maybe you know more about them than I do.
Sexy pictures.
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think of that?
It's not for me. I wouldn't follow an Instagram model. It doesn't add any value. Like, this is the thing. We spend so much of our time on social media. You might as well spend your time following something that adds value. Like, there's this Buzz Tasty. They show you some quick, nice recipes. Or you hear Gary V. I know you follow Gary V as well. You get some motivational, inspirational stuff. So, look, I look at your picture. You're showing me your BAM. I got a BAM too. But how is it adding me value? So it's not my thing. So you're saying
this is not a career path that young girls can take in Kenya?
What? Career path? I will absolutely say this and very, very clearly, 110% no. That's not a career path. Look, again, I say it's
plus
my personal...
Plus some want to move to the States to pursue their career further in Instagram model.
I mean, they can do what they want. At the end of the day, as you say, it's everyone. Kila mtu na maisha yake. Everyone has their own life to live.
Yeah.
I just don't feel that that's lasting, fulfilling life. That's not a way you can enjoy everyday life.
Yeah.
You are going and doing these things, and it gets to a point, especially when you take it as a career, that you have to do things that even yourself you're not comfortable doing, but because it's part of it, you need to be able to do the things that you enjoy. And why is it that 80% of this world that people are doing the things that they don't enjoy, and 20% are? Why can't you be up amongst those 20%?
Maybe they enjoy being naked.
I mean, it's really up to them. Personally, it's not. I would say, baby girl, you have so much potential. You can do so much more if you can believe in your worth.
It's unfortunate that some people don't really understand that there is so much that you can do.
Yeah.
If you just put focus on things that you actually like doing.
Sure.
Apart from being naked.
Sure.
So
are you taking is that an Instagram model you're looking at?
No. I'm just checking the last topic. So our last topic, let's just talk about this Apple and Android, whatever thing that's going on.
What about it?
We're definitely talking Samsung and Apple. You're using an iPhone.
Yes.
I'm using an iPhone.
Yes, you are.
Why not Samsung?
It's funny. Can I tell you this? This is
because I know Apple is crazy in the States. I see people like sleeping in lines trying to get the new iPhone.
It is absolutely insane. You know how here when you need a charger, it's easier to find someone who has an Android charger.
Yeah.
There, tafuta Android. utatafuta.
Hakuna.
Everyone, it's an iPhone. It may not be the same model, but every single, I mean, well, let me not say everyone, but a large majority are
definitely
iPhone.
iPhone.
Yeah, and I think the one thing that we have to recognize Apple for is the quality of their product and how seamless it is for you to move from one phone to the other. Say, for example, you're moving from, like I moved from the 6X Plus to my current phone, and it's like literally it's the same feel. It's just better experience. My things are in the cloud. Like I think they've come up with a system
even
where
if you have your laptop, just syncing things across all the accessories.
I don't need to do like, oh my gosh, wacha ni download kutoka kwa laptop niingize kwa simu. You know, they've been able to bring
memory cards. I don't even know what those are.
They've been able to come up with a product that honestly it is top notch. It is top notch. And the truth is, even by the time I was getting rid of my 6S Plus for what I have now, it wasn't that it was faulty. It was just that, you know what,
I just need something. I need to treat myself.
Correct. It was something of that nature. But I did know that whatever I had still then, the Mac laptop that I have, I've been having it since 2013. It absolutely looks brand new. Hasn't hung, hasn't frozen.
I try telling people that they just other people don't understand what I'm talking about.
And for me, the one thing that I religiously look, I will invest in technological stuff that are quality so that I don't have to keep on buying them because they're constantly expensive.
True.
So I'd rather pay upfront a very high price, but know that this, like I bought that laptop in 2013, in 2018. It's gonna take me 2019, 2020, you know,
before
and
you
it
even
works the same way.
So when you're in Kenya,
hey, summer.
Before you moved to the States, right? What phone were you using?
That's a good question. I think I had moved to Sony Ericsson.
Sony Ericsson.
Yeah. Is it Sony Ericsson? Yeah.
Yeah.
Sony Ericsson. I was using Sony because even when I got there, before I knew about that Apple craze, I still bought a Sony Ericsson first. So Sony Ericsson.
When you landed in the States, you bought a Sony Ericsson.
Yes. But can we just put this disclaimer that
did it come like after buying a meal? Were you given the phone for free, or you had to buy the phone?
Can we put in the disclaimer that in America you don't need to pay the full price of the phone? Can we say that? So
why do
when
I
you
see people
us,
using old phones by the...
Maybe they don't want to get into debt because people, they
like,
don't want to get into
sure.
debt. So, I mean, there are some who still buy these good phones and they buy them at full price, but know that everything is ready. People are ready to throw money your way and then they put you into debt. So I can't quite remember when I bought I actually bought it full price because the only problem is when you buy it in debt, it's locked by the mobile provider. So it's like Safaricom saying, I'm going to give you a phone, and so because of that they lock it. Correct.
Verizon.
Correct. So they lock the phone. You cannot come to Kenya with the phone.
I have some people who can unlock those.
You have?
Yeah.
Those guys have become smart. You don't think that there are people there who can unlock those things?
Listen, if a software is been designed
it can be
to lock it, there's a software that can be designed
but that's
to
the thing.
Open it.
You can open it, but the problem is you have a system of payments that you're making to them. They don't care whatever you do with the phone once you get it. But they can trace you using your social security number at some point if you default in payment. So that's the thing. Once you get that phone, you get it and you lose it, but utalipia hata kama hauna. So you keep on paying for it. So that's the thing. They have this method.
That's the difference. Because us, we have to pay like cash up front. We don't have those payment plans. Not really. Not unless you're working for a company that has a special payment plan.
That's why I say, you know what, in America, don't see someone with a car and be like, I feel like here cars are like an indicator of wealth,
status.
Wealth and status. There you can see a 16-year-old driving a Maserati, and let me tell you the truth is, you do not know how much that person is paying per month to a Zaka. Don't see someone, and there are how people live beyond their means. You see someone
that's in Kenya. People do live beyond their means, but I also know, I understand there's a social pressure. Social media has just changed it.
Yeah, it has.
Because like even for me, like the only question I get asked all the time, like, why don't you buy a car? Why don't you buy a car? I'll buy a car.
But do you need it?
But I
don't want.
No, I don't need it now. Because of priorities. Okay, but I actually do need one.
You do?
I think I need one because I move around a lot with a lot of equipment.
Think about parking in this. How like.
Like everywhere I go, people got me. People got me.
I need to be connected to you.
Can you imagine? Like, there's some places I'd go, like, we have a parking spot for you. I'm like, today it's either my skateboard, Uber, or Boda guy. So, I mean, I don't need that now, but, when I need it, I'll let you know. No, but I'm just saying for me, no. But
ladies, are you hearing Mr. John Kiskapade says He got it all. He got it all.
But I'm just saying, like, for now, I think for me it will definitely be because of my work. But it's something I can do without.
Yeah.
I can do without. I don't really need
Yeah.
it. But there's a lot of people who buy it for status indication,
Yeah.
or just because their friend bought it. And most of them are definitely loans. I know that for sure. Because for me, anybody who knows me, I pay for all my stuff cash.
Sisters, cash money.
Cash. No, but that's what, if you're a business person,
Yeah.
definitely not, unless you can have some money on the side.
Yeah.
But you have to understand, like, when you're spending that kind of cash,
Yeah.
it would rather be for business,
Yeah,
but
true,
not for something that,
true.
you know,
So it's like you
can do
know
without.
where to invest. So it's
Definitely.
like, these are investments, really.
Definitely. So when the time comes for that, I'll definitely get that. But I mean, in the States, do you have a car in the States?
Yes, I do. Let
What
me
do you
tell
drive?
It's a basic need.
No,
It's a
listen,
I drive a
just tell me.
2012 Ford Focus SE.
How does that look? I'm not sure, but I know Ford is popular in the States,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it is. I mean,
That's one of the major brands.
It's an American model. It's okay. Like it serves my needs. It gets me. It works for me.
It works for you.
It works for me. It's pretty on the inside. It's beautiful on the outside, but it's not too much. Again, it's not like a big truck or.
No, I mean, do you need a big truck?
No, I don't.
Exactly,
Yeah, so-
exactly. And I think if you have, like, you know, if you have all the things right, especially like in the States, you have your credit right.
Yeah.
You're working. You're doing A, B, C, and D. And you can move from point A to B.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah, but for us,
I think you're living the American dream already.
Depending on the state, you know, unless you're in New York, like for me, like I absolutely, like, it's a basic. The way I have to eat, I have to have a car. It's a basic, because the bus passes maybe once every 2 hours, and 2 hours.
So you can't wait for.
Yeah,
It
so,
makes no sense. It's just It's just something. It's like a phone. You need to have it where you're staying, right?
Yeah, it is. And you know, if you say, "Am I living the American dream?" I feel like I
think
know
you
that the
are.
American dream is available to me, and I think that there's so much potential,
There's
and I'm
so
just
much.
discovering it.
I think
So-
as long as you're consistent with what you're doing,
Correct.
the one thing I know about there is, like, definitely you will be rewarded.
If you work hard, it will, and it's not because you know someone; it's because of your own
Hard work.
Yeah, you know, it's funny. I was talking. There's this one of the most successful real estate agents. I follow him, Frederick Eklund. Frederick Eklund. I don't know how many years he's been in the U.S. right now, but he's pretty much what I would say is the number one real estate broker in New York. Almost, to me, I would almost say even in Sweden, because he comes from Sweden as well. And he was an immigrant, and he said he came and he basically didn't know that much English. But when you look at Frederick Eklund right now, almost 5, 7, I don't know if it's 7 now, years later, my goodness, he is the go-to person. And this is just someone who put in a lot of hard work and mastered his game, and he became successful. And it goes to show you, your dreams are valid, as Lupita Nyong'o says.
Hey, shout out to Lupita, of course.
Hey.
She's definitely doing us proud out
Yes.
there. Well,
Yes.
how do you think I'd do if I'm not moving there?
Yeah.
How do you think I'd do if I'm in the
I
States?
absolutely know this, and I think, you know, off the record, I've told you this. I think it's your work ethic.
Yeah.
And John, I will say this very humbly and say this: you have the work ethic that is needed and the drive that is needed, and that comes from within, that is needed to succeed. You need to look for opportunities. Opportunities are there. They don't come looking for you.
You have
need to
to.
be able to search opportunities. You need to be confident and approach people.
Yeah.
You need to be confident and sell yourself. You need to be confident and know that I'm going to put out my stuff there. I don't know when it's going to attract traction,
Or the
but
right
at some,
person is going
correct,
to- yeah.
but eventually it is. And you need to have that courage. And I feel like you embody all that already. I mean, guys, that's how I met the Kiss
Yeah,
Bandit
and you know, the
himself.
funny thing is, like, she just...
I slid in his DM.
Yeah, no, I did like this Insta story where I said, like, you know, hey guys, anybody who wants to partner for A, B, C, and D, just hit me up with, let's just do something.
Yeah.
So I got a DM from her. She said she was coming from the States. She'll be here for 2 weeks. Let's do something for your podcast. And listen, here we are. We've talked about so many things that, you know, a lot of this whole podcast has been very informative.
Yeah.
Anybody who's watching it will definitely pick a lot of
I
bits
hope
and pieces
so.
of
I
a
hope
lot.
so. It's really great to be able to see someone who's going above and beyond, and knowing that it's their own initiative, knowing that the rewards are not present right away, but at the same time, they're putting in the effort, they're putting in the hard work, and I think I see that in you, and your work ethic is amazing, and keep it going. And I'm very proud to see how I'll be one of the first people in your podcast and what it becomes, and I'm actually looking forward to the future and catching up once again and seeing where you are versus where we were.
Yeah. Definitely the podcast has been something nice, and you see just how it brought us together, the connection. We've talked about so many things that some are personal and some you don't even talk to with probably the friends that you hang out on a regular.
True.
But we just need to have like a little bit of a social responsibility besides having fun and everything. Just tell people what real life is actually out there, because a lot of people are misguided and they don't know. They don't really know, because when you watch TV, they'll just tell you the things that you want to hear.
Yeah, and they're weaving a story. They're weaving a story to catch your attention.
Yeah.
And the question then remains, is that the real story though?
Is that the real story?
Is that the real story?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I guess we've come to the end of the podcast.
What a day, what a moment. This has been amazing. And I think I hope that this will bring more lights. Living abroad is not easy, but it is worth it. It does come with its challenges, but it brings out a new you from learning from different cultures and different experiences and different people. And I hope this gives the girl child, the young girls out there, the ability to know that you are capable, you are worthy, and that there is more to you than what meets the eye and more than beauty.
True. Facts.
Okay.
So we've come to the end of the podcast. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everything. And most probably, even if you're not coming back next year, I'll figure out a whole other setup that I can do, like either Skype interviews and stuff, so that I can be in touch with you.
Yeah, and guys, let us know. Is there anything more you want to hear? Are there any other questions you want to hear from me and from us?
Anything you want to hear, like if you've watched the interview and there's anything you'd want to ask her about just settling in the US, like the kinds of jobs, how you can be able to survive doing this and that, just because she's been through all that thing, and she's a genuinely nice person, so she can share that information. I'll put her Instagram. Hopefully she'll have her own podcast by next year. That's what we're working on.
Put it out there. Yes, listen, that's what we're working on.
If you don't do it, it's on record.
The pressure is real. Is real. You know what? That's a motivator.
I'll remind you of this next year.
I know. Oh my gosh! I hope I can come back and say I've delivered. That's the goal.
Let's do it. Just do it.
I have the best mentor over here, guys. So I really think if I have any questions, if I need any guidance, if I need any assistance,
definitely,
he got me.
Listen, here's the funny thing about me. Like, where you stay in the States, if you just tell me, like, this is what I'm looking for, I'll go online. I'll tell you, what? Go to this block, take a left, take a right, go to this shop, and tell them the Kiss Bandit sent you. Hey,
that's how he is connected. That's just how much you're connected.
Just the online platform has just made it so easy to connect with a lot of different people, bring things together, and just exchange a lot of creativity. So hopefully we'll be able to do this again, even if it's online. I'm game for that. I'm definitely going to do it.
Definitely open. We are technologically able.
Hey. Thank you so much. And it's a wrap.
We had a great time. Thank you.
So, and thank you Art Cafe for giving us the space.
Yes,
and just,
the
whole
strawberry
treat.
Kiwi.
Strawberry kiwi.
OMG.
And we're just about to have their breakfast.
I know. I'm having the Sicilian breakfast, by the way, guys. So
I'm having the Spanish breakfast. I'll show you a bit of, just go to my Insta stories. Of course, my records will always be there. Go to the highlights tab. You can see all my breakfast escapades.
Woo.
And I'm just about to introduce her to something new. Escapades and kisscapades.
Hey. That's a wrap, guys.
It's a wrap. So I'll try put these on iTunes as well by January, so you can get them. You can get the audio version on SoundCloud, iTunes, and definitely subscribe to my YouTube for more episodes. And stay tuned for the next guest. It's been real.
It's been real, guys.
Hey.
Peace.
Bye.
Thank you. Oh my gosh. Thank you. Give me a hug again. Thanks so much. This was amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I had a great time.
I hope it's inspired you.
It is. And you can see for me it's natural. Like it feels. That's why now you see when I tell you I shouldn't be in corporate America.